Hey, what's up guys, we YouTube here back with another video. So, windups win YCS Bochum, the last YCS, 2 YCSs in a row in fact, windups win. But it is the last YCS of the format and we are going to be saying goodbye to windups in their current form. A lot of people are being a bit negative about windups, saying that once windup carrier and Sangan are gone, the consistency of the deck will be reduced to the point whereby it will become, let's say, a tier 2 deck. I honestly don't think that's going to happen, simply because you should never count windups out. They also have 3 windup sharks, 3 windup factories, 3 rats, and 3 rabbits. So they still have a lot of consistency in the deck. You can improve the issues with having only 1 magician by adding summoner monks, as people have already started to do. There is a loop with M-X-Saber Invoker and a summoner monk. You can get 2 photon papal operatives and an M-X-Saber Invoker and other things to the field. I think 3 XYZs, I'm not sure. I haven't actually looked into the loop in too much detail myself, but it actually looks quite promising, although not nearly as advantageous as using 2 cards to get 4 XYZs. You're probably using 3 cards to get 3 XYZs or something like that. Nevertheless, it is still pretty good. And considering you have so many 1-card XYZ plays, you still have your tour guide from the Underworld. You don't have your Sangan anymore. You have 3 windup rats. And you'll probably end up running salvages for the windup sharks, or at least 1 copy of salvage, just to increase the consistency of the deck. Some people I've seen running Pot of Duality as well. So the deck is definitely not down and out. I mean, they still have their 3 factories. They can run Fire Formation Tankies to search up the rabbits as well. As I said, they can run salvages to get the sharks back to their hand. They can keep recycling the magician with windup rabbit. So really, I don't really see the deck losing all that much, other than a little bit of consistency. People can main deck 2 Thunder Kings now that he's only at 2, so they might as well main deck 2 to improve the stall potential of the deck. And they can run a heavier trap lineup and just kind of play a more conservative build rather than a kind of a spammy OTK type build, which is what they originally played. Although windups have always been very good at the long haul. They're good at short games and long games, and they might just not be as good at the short game anymore. You know, they won't be able to go Magician Shark and go bam, that's an OTK. But they're still a very good deck. They still have a very good engine. Most of their cards remain intact, apart from the Windup Magician, as I said, and the Windup Carrier. So I could definitely see them doing well in the next format. Do I see them winning a YCS? Probably not. Do I see them topping a YCS? Certainly. Because, as I said, they just have so many good toolbox cards and, you know, nice top decks like Windup Rats and things that can still make them somewhat competitive. So I look forward to seeing what people will do with windups, and I look forward to seeing how creative it will actually be. Because now that people have to think on their feet, and they literally have to think of an original build to kind of step out of the mold of windups that was originally formed about 6 months ago, and make something creative, you know, it'll definitely be interesting to see what that turns out to be. Thinking of the tech cards that windups can use, such as the likes of Snowman Eater and Thunder King Ryo, which they couldn't use last format because of lack of space, you can definitely understand how windups can make somewhat of a comeback in the next format, because, you know, the deck, as I said, is still really, really good. The engine is really fast, it searches a hell of a lot if you're adding in Fire Formation Tankies and 3 copies of Windup Factory, as well as a reinforcement of the army if you're running the likes of Windup Warrior or Windup Soldier. So you can definitely imagine how the deck, its inconsistencies could be removed by just adding in more searcher cards. But my question to you is, are you going to run windups in the next format? Are you going to run Fire Fists or Mermails instead? Do you believe in the new loop? Or do you even consider it a loop at all? Or do you think that the deck is just trying to compensate for its ban list woes? Anyway guys, that is it for the video today. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know, first of all, what you think of windups winning YCS Bochum, the last YCS of the format. And secondly, if you think windups are going to actually make a splash in the next format at all, or if you think they're just going to fumble around and not really do much of anything or top any events. I personally want to stay optimistic about windups. I sold off my windup deck, so I won't be able to make a kind of a video looking at a physical windup deck and the various combos and such, but I will be able to do it on Dueling Networks. That's probably what I will end up doing, unless I can borrow a deck off somebody or buy the deck back once again. I'm not even sure whether it will go up and down in price, depending on how optimistic people are about this new loop. Nevertheless, I think people should stop crying over spilt milk with regard to their windup deck and just try and make the best of the circumstances at hand.